Hey, this is Chugg, and in this video we're going to be looking at Zenaku's slash movement. He'll be on comms with us, and he's got some concerns with his technique, and he wants us to have a look at it. So we'll just bring him in now. Alright, hey Zenaku, how you doing?
Could be better, mate. That's alright.
Alright, so
Yeah.
what concerns do you have right now with your movement?
So I seem to cut too much speed. I like to think that like when I curve slide, so let's say if you're watching my POV now, I like to curve slide like this and then flick to the other direction, thinking that it's gonna like add two vectors or something like this, but I can't seem to get it.
Right, okay, so you push forward and then you switch to side only in that spot,
Yeah.
rather than like forward and right. I can't actually see your inputs, which is unfortunate. So yeah, you push forward, then you switch to side only. Okay, as opposed to just forward, just the normal forward and right the whole way through. So can you do it the way that I would do it, with just the normal key presses and not side only, like from that same angle?
So from this angle here.
Yeah, yeah.
So side only is in like you want me to just curve slide into that.
No, no. I mean forward and side, like the movement that I would normally use. Again, you
Like
just you also like you kicked left. Can you do it clean without any kicking to the side? Okay.
like just like like slide straight in a way.
No, not the angle and path that you're taking, but without using the left key, because I noticed that both times you had a little kick before you went into the slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I am actually doing that too, you're right. So don't press strafe left at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll see if I can do that. But it's hard to... maybe I'll try a different...
Okay, we'll change what you're looking at when you start the slide. So go back to that position and look at like rail.
Look at rail, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of like this way,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
kind of means I have to curve, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that.
So... I think it's the force of habit. It just feels right, but it's obviously not working for me. Like even every time when I get good speed, like for example like this jump here, I'm still doing like even before I jump, I'm holding like strafe left and forward. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And then I'm kicking, but
well, it does have a purpose, because you know you don't have a lot of sliding space, so you want to be on the ground gaining some speed before you commit forward towards the edge. So since you're space limited, yeah, it's good, but yeah, like that. Like that's that wasn't something that you were doing before. So when you don't, when you do have the space, it's just it's faster because you're heading towards your target sooner rather than spending time going to the left.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can try and yeah. So even when I go here, it's always forward, not left.
Yeah.
I can even start further left maybe and just go.
So
did you see what the issue was there?
Yeah, yeah. You moved your mouse too quickly before you landed. You started moving your mouse.
So don't move my mouse at all until I've landed.
Yep.
Okay.
Again,
Fuck.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try again.
Well, I should say you should start to move your mouse just before you land. That's the same story.
Still moving the mouse too much. Ooh.
Because what you're doing is you're flicking to the same spot every time. But if you're starting too early, you're not getting that acceleration on the ground.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm already like all this acceleration between here and here. I'm already moving my mouse. So I'm like going like this.
Exactly.
And that's where I can actually be gaining more speed just by doing that.
Yeah.
So would you? Okay, let's see if I just go.
Again, it was the same sort of thing. This is your muscle memory taking control, and is what you're going to need to override. But try like deliberately like land and then do it. Land then move your back. Like look at your hands and land first before you move your mouse. Yeah, well, pole in the way, of course. Again, it's the same sort of thing. Like it's better. It was better, absolutely. Yeah.
Still could be better in that same sense.
Yeah, agreed. So that's the reason that's good is space efficiency on the mouse. Like the crosshair from point A to point B, more of it is spent sliding. So
Yeah.
therefore you gain more speed and exactly, yeah. That was good. Like you didn't make it, but the timing was good.
Okay, so let's try again. So let's say looking straight, looking straight.
Yeah, again, that was.
Can I go through this way, you reckon?
Yeah, you can do that. If you hit, yeah, that's good.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's the easy way.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's good.
you're going through the middle is, you know, you don't have to worry about the corner cutting.
Okay. Well, let's just see if I can get it 3 times in a row, which I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, I mean. So did you actually, what
That was mouse speed. Yeah.
Didn't move fast enough?
Yeah.
Didn't cut hard enough?
Well, you
Okay.
started to slow down, and that the ground friction sort of had an impact there.
This is me walking into a pole.
Yep, that was good.
So now, what would you suggest for me to get through this first one? Just cut harder, or where should I be? Should I be like looking here and then just cut harder, or maybe moving further back and then going like that?
For me, with that particular spot, I found that there's a rivet that I tried a path on top of. So if you see this, where your crosshair is basically exactly there. Yeah. If you're sliding on that, and then you start to like you're just doing a forward slide, no mouse movement, no strafe inputs. Then you slide onto that, and then you change into forward and right. That'll carry you through pretty easily. For me, at least, that's what I got consistent. But yeah, it's that at that point it's about setting it up properly and landing in the right spot and triggering it from the right place.
Let me just try. What do you think about these general slides anyway?
Just move around the map.
Well,
That was a bit yeah, wiggly. I don't even know how that worked.
which one?
So your gun tilted in a way, and your character moved in a way that I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
Alright.
Agree or disagree?
I'd like to see you spend more time on the ground.
Okay.
But due to the nature of that path, you know, going straight, you don't need to. You can just keep jumping. But maybe go down around the pillars, like spend some more time lower part of the map, and try to ride the slides a little bit longer.
Around the pillars and around this one. Well, that was like high ground to low ground, but because the thing is because I haven't spent enough time to see. I did it again. I haven't spent enough time to really know how long you actually get.
Right.
You know, let's say if I went from here to here, 1, 2, yeah, no, probably 1 second even.
That was something I did quite early on, was to try and push myself to the limit. But even you know, that was months ago, and I myself find myself like looking at Steege sliding around. He's on the ground a lot longer than I am, and I'm a bit not jealous of it, but I noticed like, this is what I should be doing more. So being on the ground, obviously you have more control over where you can go, change directions at a moment's notice. And if you're just skipping, you're sort of committing to the direction that you're going to travel, and you're going quickly, fine, but you don't have control over like changing suddenly if you get a sound cue or if an enemy peeks and rails you.
That's right. That's right. I still did it again because I'm kicking it to the left.
Yep. Kicking to the left is fine, but it's not something that you should do without a specific reason.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, that was because
you kicked it there, but that was reasonable because you're basically on the edge and you almost made it. Like that would have been a really sick bit of movement if you did it.
So I think the kicking of the left is okay, but I think it's like in these situations where you need to hit like obviously about 720 or I mean between 650 to 720, you can't be losing any bit of speed because let's say if I do that like what I usually would do. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't even jump. I went to like 480. That's what it looked like. But now if I just like hold only I mean, that's just the joke.
Yeah, it's
Like
much
how
easier. Yeah,
how much it helps you. Like you just get so much more traction. So I'll have to. I think that's actually probably why. Let's say when I use like the other characters,
Mhm.
and I'm using like air acceleration or like that to help me out, I'll often just like hold strafe left and strafe right to kind of drag me where I want to go. Whereas here, it's very important to just have one way. I think that you want to do it. So again,
Yeah, it's good.
yep, look at that.
Right.
Within 5 minutes, we did it. Sorry, yeah.
That was good. I do want you to spec me, because just leave game. Because there's
Okay.
something more to be said about the kicking, because it is good, but only if you use it with a deliberate reason, which is to set you into the right position to then carry on the slide.
All right.
All right, so you can spec me.
Yeah.
And there we go. So how are you feeling so far?
I'll have to see if I can mentally. The trouble I'm having here is that it's a lot of pressure for. Excuse me. It's a lot of pressure for one character to be like. It requires a lot of effort to have such a big impact on a character like that.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
you know, you may as well just like, well, we'll just play fucking Nyx.
Yeah.
But then you know, in other situations where you know, if she really dominates a map, you really should know how to do it. And I think that there are definitely circumstances where, you know, you could be playing another character, but all of a sudden Slash is actually, you know, in more than just one map, she's very good. That would help you a lot. So I think actually it is quite good, and it just takes a few mental things to really just be aware of, and you're on your way.
Yep. I do think it takes some time to put in the practice to actually iron out the problems that have developed just by nature of you throwing yourself at the character and trying to make it work. But all right, let's get over there. Oh, straight slide. Okay. So when it comes to kicking, like kicking to the left, especially in this spot, to then cut across here, right? So you're positioning yourself here, and then you're changing to a slide that's fairly straight, like this. I need LG, just to draw it out properly. Yeah. Okay. So if you're kicking yourself to this position, and then you're cutting this really shallow angle, and across this whole distance, you can gain some speed as you turn, but then you're coasting. And if you're coasting with your mouse movement, you're sort of already close to where your final crosshair position will be. You're slowing down because of how the ground friction works. So that's why you kept falling down, because you position yourself out here, and then it's this part that screws you up. The kicking left is fine, but it's all about positioning yourself into the right spot. So the spot, you know, you were getting pretty consistent here, but when it came to my experimenting, I found that hitting this part and then cutting across like that was the most consistent for me. So I'm very much, what point am I aiming to path over the top of in order to successfully execute the slide? Okay, well, cut that, please. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
And that was, you know, that was a bit tight landing on that corner, and that's where I usually land. But you can obviously carry it a bit further. But and I'll do lots of snaky stuff as well. As you'll see, like kicking out with forward and right to just position myself here so that I can sweep. Because if my crosshair is here and I want to gain speed going that way, I have the space to gain some speed like that.
So so for example, let's say you want to get to quad as quickly as possible. When you're pressing, you're not dragging right at all. You're just doing like, from my understanding, just only forward and strafe left to get like obviously that really like do as much turn as you can in the shortest amount of time while you're on the ground.
Well, if I come up from jump pad, I'll just tell you what my inputs look like. Oh, hang on, it's gotta go wider.
Yeah. Nice.
So that was forward and left only. There was no need to, like, especially if I don't ledge cancel. Even if I ledge cancel, I just have to coast forward a little bit so that I can get in position to then sweep around. So that way I don't hit this like I did the first time. Another point about really being precise about where you're which marks you're trying to hit in order to slide. I was trying to make this work where you come through, slide jump, land on this, and then hit that corner to get to cap, as opposed to coming all the way out here, hitting this platform and committing to mega. Because if you're getting chased, you don't want to you don't want to be flying off like that, and you also don't want to try and coast around here. Maybe your slide runs out and then strafe jump this way. So when it comes to a difficult jump like this, I figured that between this line and this line is where I'm trying to land here and then do a slide jump in order to curve around and hit that. And actually, maybe it's this part. Maybe it's this part. It's been a while. Let's try it like that. Okay, I'm gonna hit the jump. Got to hit the jump key. That's integral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit one more time.
This happens to be what I'm like sometimes when I do it too. Alright, go for it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. My keyboard spacebar is a bit busted. I think I hit it too hard.
I busted my one. So.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There we go.
And
now,
yeah.
Could you really impress me here and just go from there and back to rocket?
Yeah, I wanted to cycle the whole. I wanted to do a video where I just cycle these like twice.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta get my mind at the game. There we go. No, it's gotta get around the corner. Wow. Okay. Well, listen, this is just embarrassing. Watch me how to. If you want to learn how to slash, watch me and not Zenaku, who just does it consistently. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
And then I don't have enough slide. You have to jump here because the slide, like landing here.
Well, the jump from catwalk to rocket is already a very hard committal kind of slide. It's not like you can really almost you can't really continue it as much. All right, let's look again. Go.
Wow. Well, hitting that platform is it's tight because what you're trying to do is slide jump, not to. Like, I'm trying to do a 90-degree slide jump, so I have to hit the right point, or else I'll extend. And if I am too early, I'll clip this, and it won't work.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
It was the right idea. Yeah.
If I could do some snaking, I could maybe get it to work. Just take the middle one. Middle one's easy.
I was always thinking with the snaking though, don't you feel like you lose speed a bit too?
It yes and no. Depending on, I'm comfortable riding the slide a little bit longer, and this is like it's like strafe jumping. Like if you're jumping through the air, you can change direction, which side. Like if my movement direction is this way, I could be forward and left, and I can switch, and it does lose some speed, but it's still fine. And it's the same sort of thing when you're sliding. Like I do drop speed when that happens, but I'm just trying to keep position as well as maintain speed. Like I don't have to be at 720 100% of the time. If I can stay above 550 across this whole path, just to get in position to then do a good slide jump, that's efficient enough. Like maintaining maximum speed is not absolutely required.
All right.
Yeah. Slide dive.
Yeah, I never understand why did that just happen?
That's because I landed here off a ledge cancel and slid this whole way, like on the ground. Yeah.
Sometimes it ends up in like this weird corkscrew, kind of like you end up just like going left and right, and then you just stop. I'll see if it happens again. But
in my first video, I talked about like the only thing that determines if a slide stops is when you crouch. So this is just because it's a long drop, right? So the snaking doesn't actually detract from the slide time at all there. If I do it from here. Okay. I slid from there to here. But if I try and do it in like one, it's about the same spot, right? So the snaking doesn't actually affect the slide time at all. It won't make it run out faster.
I think one of the key things that like you're saying as well is that you can do the whole like I said, holding both strafe keys and stuff, but I guess ideally if you want to maximize speed, you got to be just pressing forward and one strafe key. Or is that wrong in saying that?
It's technically wrong because it's not the strafe keys that are impacting the speed. It's the position that you're putting yourself in. So in this spot where you were having trouble when you were trying to make this work, the left kick didn't detract from from the speed. It was the long strip here. You've created more space for you to slide across to get to the edge to then do a good jump.
Okay, okay.
And across this space, your mouse is not moving fast enough to actually maintain the speed. The ground friction overpowers it. So it's
Alright.
the nature of the path that you're taking, not the inputs that you have on your keyboard.
Alright. Okay, okay.
And it's how this movement will set you up, and it's why it's good when it comes to these tight spots to do. Oh, okay, well, I don't practice it very much.
Yeah.
To do it like that.
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure that I could do it if I just did it normally from a very similar spot. Maybe I could do it, but it's doing a jump straight from here versus kicking out and then doing a jump. This is more space, and across this space, you're turning, so you're accelerating the whole time. So you just gain more speed. So that kick to the left helps you in this spot, and the reason it helps you is because of the path that you're taking. Anyway, do you have any other questions about why my movement is so poor?
I think that's good for now. I'll give that a bit of a try. But yeah, so I guess critical thing is just spending less time on the ground and just being sharper. Obviously, like, yeah, being really sharp with the turns. And I still want to commit to using both strafe keys and like doing the leg, like, you know, where you, where you commit a little bit to the left. But like you said, just spending less time on the ground, and it's very subtle.
Another key point about acceleration, and this is a problem that Steve has, which he won't find out because he won't watch this video, but the crosshair positioning relative to where you're going matters. So if I do if I just do a slide like this, hang on, I need more space. Let's go here. I accelerate later on, like it's slow to accelerate, but then it sort of picks up here, and that's because my movement direction, it's like strafe jumping. It's like there's a zone where if you hit like 450 units and you have your crosshair in a certain spot, you won't accelerate. It's the same for sliding, except it's just a lesser acceleration. So when you land and you have a movement direction forward, if you snap your crosshair to the side and then start to push it, you'll cut straight into that good acceleration zone.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and that might not seem like obvious.
Correct.
But and it's not something I realized until I put out a video, and SmileScythe, a Reddit user, pointed out that, hey, you're doing the wrong. Like, I was using forward only slide, and I couldn't get it to work, and that's because I don't have to snap to here, which is what I normally do. Just naturally, it's something that I developed. You have to snap to here in order to get the acceleration to start to go. See, that was much faster. All right,
Yeah.
I do it the way I normally did it before, and it's just significantly slower. But you snap to the right position, to the good acceleration zone, and then you push, and it works. That. So I just hit 700, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason you would use a slide like this is because of crosshair positioning. Like, where does your crosshair go, and where's your move relative to where your movement is. But that's all advanced stuff, which, you know, just play Nix.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel that on a very deep level.
All right, that was.
All right, well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you putting yourself out there and submitting yourself to my analysis, and thank you for watching as well. All right, see you later.
No worries. See you, boys.